Well, good afternoon. It is Sunday, and today, from the request of my friend Tracy, I'm going to make chicken and dumplings. I'm going to get the chicken started, and then we will be back. It's going to take a little while for it to cook, so bear with me. Okay. Guess what's done? The chicken. Doesn't that look good? Okay, so now we gotta take it out and debone it. So, well, we're only gonna debone one of these, so. While I'm doing that, I am going to get some of our other ingredients, and we're gonna set this on simmer. Got our onion. As you guys probably know by now, everything I make gets an onion in it. So, I hope this is what you were looking for. I don't use a recipe for this. This is just what come out of my head, which is kind of scary. Whew, that's a strong onion. Wow. I use 3 carrots. I mean, you can use the little carrots if you want, but there's just something about these big carrots. Oh. My eyes are burning. Ooh. So I'm going to use the other chicken breast as for like chicken salad, since I've already cooked it. Hate to waste it. Let it sit in the refrigerator and then forget about it. You can add whatever vegetables that you want to add to this. This is just what I like, but you can add anything. Okay, I have about a 1/4 cup of celery, 3 carrots chunked up, and about half an onion. So I want that to start boiling. It hasn't started yet, but while it's doing it, we'll see if I'm going to have to use both of these or not. That's not too hard. So I just break it up into pieces, put it in there. Oh yeah. You want to try to make sure you don't get any bones in it. It's probably not a good thing. Leave the skin off. I mean, you don't have to, but most people, when they're making this kind of stuff, they go with skinless everything. It doesn't matter to me. This part's a little hot. It takes about, I don't know, about 45 minutes, I guess, to cook the chicken part. This will probably be like a couple of meals for me. Don't feed the bones to your dogs. Throw them away. So, you've seen here that I have some bone broth, chicken broth, and I will add some of that because we're going to have it to make our dumplings in. And these are drop dumplings. These are not like Grandma used to make. I've never been very good at those, so I do it the easy way. I put about half of this broth in here. I cooked it, the chicken itself, in water, and of course it makes its own broth. I like getting this crushed garlic, so it's less wasteful. When I make any kind of chicken soup, I want garlic in it. I'm cooking this in a ceramic covered cast iron pot. I think it's a saucepan, but I didn't want to get out the big one because I'm not making that much of this. And the other thing I'm going to show you that I use in this is, so this is Celery. This is what my go-to for salting soups and stews. Never put a spoon in it. I usually dip out, probably maybe a 1/16 of a cup. And that's how I salt it. This is actually Figi water with Himalayan salt. You put about 2 inches of Himalayan salt in the bottom of this jar, and then you fill it all the way up to, about here with your Figi water or artesian water, and you let it set for 24 hours, and then you have your own Celery. So you can add salt to whatever you need to add it to. And it actually, you don't have to pour the whole salt shaker in. You just put just a little bit. And it really makes the flavor come out. It doesn't overpower it. So this is gonna cook until those carrots are done, and we're going to put a lid on it. It should start boiling, and I'm going to turn it down a little. Okay, so you're probably wondering, well, how in the world do you thicken that stuff up and make it creamy? Well, you're going to make a Beurre Manie. In other words, this is butter and flour. And believe it or not, it's room temperature, but you cannot tell that it is. It's a little stiff, but anyway, you mix half and half, put your butter with flour, and you just make sure that it's all the same amount. Teaspoon for teaspoon, tablespoon, however you want to do it. But this is what's going to thicken the sauce. Unless you don't want it thick. Me, myself, I kind of like it a little creamy. Or a little thicker than water anyway. So just mix until you get it all nice and incorporated together. And then you can just let it sit. It can sit right out here on the counter. It won't hurt nothing while you're waiting for your stuff to get done. And then here in a minute, when it's done, a minute. I only wish it took only a minute. Okay, so that is Beurre Manie. Okay, so now that we have this made, now we're going to make our dumplings. Okay, so you see here we're using Biscuick. You want 2 cups of Biscuick. So I've got a 1 cup measure here, so I'm going to make a big mess is what's going to happen. But that's okay. That's a cup. Probably. Well, I like these, so. I got, whoops, put all kinds of stuff on them, in them. Come up with this a few years ago. Alright, so we're done making that big mess. We do 2/3 of a cup of milk. So you just mix this up just like you were making biscuits. And you don't want to over stir it. See, like that's just plenty. Alright, so now what I like to do, it's going to sound a little strange, take about, I don't know, there's probably 3 teaspoons of Colby Jack cheese and a teaspoon of chopped garlic, and then I try to mix it up best I can. So it's going to be really garlicky. You don't have to add the garlic, you don't have to add the cheese. But what you want this to do is you want it to rise a little bit before you're ready to use it. So after you mix it up the best you can, just leave it sit there and let it rise. I believe we are at a nice rolling boil. And the easiest way to know if it's done is to check your carrots. Well, it's not done yet, so just let her cook. Now I can turn it down and let it simmer for about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. Okay, it's been simmering here for, I don't know, about 15 minutes. So let's see if the carrots are done yet. Yes, the carrots are done enough. Okay, so now your next job is you want to thicken this up a little bit. Not too thick. And you do not even have to add it if you do not want to. Oh, yes. But if you do add it, make sure that you whisk it or stir it really good to break it up. And you don't have to use it if you don't want to. Okay, so now we are going to slowly Bring this back up to a boil. Get a little bit at a time. It takes about 10 minutes to cook these. You want to make sure that they're no bigger than your tablespoon. And you just drop them in. I swear I never make enough of these. They don't have to be perfect, and just let them boil. That's how they cook. I like to put a little pepper on top of them. You don't have to. This is just my preference. I like a little spice. Okay, so just let them cook, and I will show you when they're done. It takes about 10-ish minutes. I will put the lid back on. Okay, it has been about 10 minutes, and as you can see, the dumplings are pretty much done. You can let them sit and simmer for a little while, cool off a little. No, they're not quite done. If they're still a little gooey in the middle, then they're not done. That one there, it started to fluff up some. So, let's put your lid on. Let's let it sit there. I went ahead and turned off the heat, and I'm just going to let it sit. Chicken and dumplings, simmering away. Okay, here they are, all plated up. The carrots are nice and sweet. There is a little bit of gravy to it. Onions are translucent, and dumplings are cooked to perfection. I hope you guys enjoy this, because I know I will. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. Have a great weekend.